Okay, so we have a little makeup share I'm doing here because I forgot to record the last one. So we're doing it again. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go down we're in this Pirish Rahut that he has. And we're going to read, just to start with, the dark print. Well, let me see if I'm in the right place. I don't know if I'm in the right place. I'm not in the right place. Here it is, right here. So it writes just a dark print. We'll just try to get into this. We're going to go here down here to number Kaf Down. It says, he says, Roshusa Isyihiv Le'ilin Nishmasim Distarko Masraihu that were sent away from their places, Basar Gudsha Barihu Shchinte, and they follow after. These are people that are attached to the Kodesh Baruch the Shechina. He said, Lakana Chibura to make a nest, in other words, to start a yeshiva, and with this Chibura of these neshama. So he says the kanan, the nest, to make a nest. Through as a result of this chibur, which means this yeshiva, or the coming together of these neshamot. Now here in number Kaf Dawid is over this way in a section. He has multiple sections here. So this is ha'oros v'ha'aros. And it says like this, yesh menucha l'shchina. So therefore, those who travel with the Shechina, which he says here, or so he says, this is according to the Gra, because a beer ba'or yakar. Now the or yakar is the Ramak, and it's very difficult to understand sometimes. Ideas, very important ones, but they're standing out by themselves. It's very difficult to see how it is they connect. A beer ba'or yakar, he says, shekevan she'al yedecha limud, that through this limud we're doing, a shkina miskashetes me'ira v'tzorach hayichud, she adorns herself. She becomes aroused, and as a result of that, yegia gam l'neshamas agolos. So he says this arousement will also reach gam l'neshamas hagolos, to the exiled neshamos. V'sovlos machashkes, this is Russian choshech. V'sovlos, and bear the darkness of the galos meha'arazu, from this shining that we're talking about. Ha'arazu, I'm not sure what he means by shining. Let's go on to number Kaf Vav. So let's read after number Kaf. Let's see. Well, this is Hamavoar Minayim Shechina Begal. So how do we know that the Shechina? Let me find a place. So once again, he says Minayim Shechina Begalos. The Itmer, because it says in regards to the Shechina Embechapel the Shechina, but Tzippor, no, that is min hakina. She wanders away, or she's sent away from her nest. Cain ish noted mimikoma, the same thing is true of a man. Man has to leave his place. Now, what does he mean by man? What does he mean about his place? Let's go look at number 26 and see if it helps us. Kaf Vav. In Mishlei, it says, Shlomo HaMelech Omer ki kamosha kasha the Tzipor. Masha, no, that is mekina. So that with how it's hard for her if she's sent away, she loses her nest. Kain yiksha the isha anadida. So the same thing with a man who's sent away from his place, mimakoma, from his place. Rebbe Shimon dorish as a pasuk hazes, Rebbe Shimon. He darshans this pasuk al galus hashchina, and he said the Chavah Kodesh Baruch Hu, so he means to say Zohar v'nukar, sent away. Let's go on. Back to number Kaf Vav. Where was that? Kaf Vav b'Mekomo. V'lei Tzipor el Shechina. So this is the place we're at right now. And he says number Daled. V'lei Tzipor el Shechina. The Tzipor is the same thing as the Shechina. When it says the bird is sent away, it means the Shechina is sent away. Bir ha'inyan, so explanation is this, ki ha'shchina yesh lo shtei bechinos. Ha'achas yona, one is where she's a dove. Sweet, clean, beautiful. Behind the be'esh shchinta be'beis hamikdash, this is when you see the Shechina in the Beis Hamikdash, Kaba Omro, and she's saying like the Yonazi, B'chag v'chasala, b'seisach madrega, so there she's hidden away there. 1 second, I'm gonna look this pasuk up, and I'll be right back. I'll make sure I got the right pasuk here. Okay, so I looked this up a little bit, try to figure exactly what he wants to say. There were some things in here a little bit more difficult to be able to put together, so let's see this one. This is in Shir Hashirim. It's chapter 2, pasuk 14. Yonasi, he writes, B'chag v'chasala b'seisach madrega. So he says, at the sea, he said to me, my dove trapped at the sea, as if if in the clefts of the rock, like you're in a rock you can't get out. Let me get rid of that. The rock. Let me see, I don't see me. Let's try it again. So he says, at the sea, he said to me, O my dove, trapped at the sea, as in the clefts of the rock. The concealment of the terrace. So he used the word madrega. You also could have literally, oh my dove, in the crannies of the rock, in the covert of the steppe. When the Jews were trapped between the sea and the Egyptian army, they were like a dove fleeing a hawk. It flew into the cleft of a rock and found a serpent lurking there. Could neither enter because of the snake, nor turn back because of the hawk. Okay, that's the situation, he says, that we found ourselves in. He says, Shir Hashirim, Yonasi b'chagve hasela b'seisach madrega. That's one. That's one level. One level, he says, is of the Shechina. The Shechina is like a dove. Hashniya Kanasha, the second one, is like an eagle. The kind of bechinta b'tzeisach magalos. This is its aspect. The Shechina he's talking about. Bechinazach b'tzeisach mechagalus, her aspect when she leaves the exile in which we're in begula notzeches oiveha, that which the gula, which take place when we crush our enemies. And we see from David HaMelech, the enemies are really within us, that is, in us individually. Our own sins bring upon sins from the enemies, the haters from the outside. Kadech Zev, as is written like this, Ve'esa esachem al kanfei nisharim, that I will carry you on the wings of eagles. V'kasiv kanesher yoer kanu. Let's look this up because we get this exactly yoer, what yoer means, because he's going to use it again. It's I'm going to translate it. Kanesher yoer kanu. Amnam Tzippor he bekinosach no dedes begalusa. This is the Tzippor is its aspect, is wandering into galus. Kanesher yoir kanu. So give me a second. I'm going to take a look at it and bring it up to you. So 22:11 for file now. Let's see. 1 second. I've got the wrong place. Okay, I didn't see any particular elucidation on this. He was like an eagle arousing its nest, hovering over its young, spreading its wings, and taking them, carrying them on its pinions, as he means his wings. So let's see what he's doing here. So he said, Tzippor b'yud. So when we say we're going to be darsh, the word Tzippor, with a yud. Now, what does that mean? In other words, we're spelling the word Tzippor could spell without a yud or with a yud. The nikras bechirik, that it's the way we call it, the hirik, it's the basic sound in the word Tzippor, so at least part of it. So the question is why is he bringing us? And let's see if I can understand it. The yesh aim the mikra. So So let me just look back over here. Darsh Tzipor Beyud. So the way that we understand the word Tzipor is spelled with this Yud, Beyud, Hanikras Bechirik. Then he said the Yesh Aim the Mikra. So the way that we read it, normally the way that it's written is the way that we read it and understand it. Then said Tzippur Gematria Shechina. It comes out that why? Because the word Tzippur with the Yud is the Gematria of the word Shechina in a Kollel together with the Kollel. Which comes to the Gematria of the number 390. What is 390? The 390 is also the number of David ben Yishai, who's the Mashiach. So the Shechina is put it together with the Mashiach, I don't know. Vod Nira Tzipor is actually take out the Yud, and you're left with the word Tzav and Par. So he says, which could also be made Tzipor, you have to move the Vav around a little bit. Because she makes a nest in our world, in the world of Shechina. Visham and Meir Kel Adni, that in that place, our place, Adni represents Olam Atzilu, and Kale must be coming from up above. It's number 31. The two of them make the Gematria 96. She'olam Mispar Tzav, 96. V'sham hu sod par. So there you find over there the secret of the concept of par, which comes from the double letters, which are called mansapach. The lechem nikra ya'ar. So there, var, it's called ya'ar. What is ya'ar? Ya'ar is also the Gematria 270, 280, which is the Gematria of mansapach. Shehu Gematria par. Kenoda Nimsa Shechinta he sowed Tzav, so therefore the Shechita comes out to the concept of Tzav, this 96, which is Kale Adni, and Par, which is Mansapach, Shehut Tzippor, which has become a combination from the word Tzippor itself, and so we can understand it from that. Now let's go on a little bit where it gets more difficult in this section, which was called the ZOHAR. So we got to, that was number Daled. Yeah. And the Tzippur Elosh Eloshchita, Ve'ein Nikra Tzippur Eloshchina. Dihu Mistarka Ma'as Roha, that she has been divorced or sent away, exiled from her place. Shehin is Garsha B'Makoma, B'Churban B'Ais Mikdash. This is the meaning of this phrase. This is the secret of what is written. Shalach to shalach esa abe. You should certainly send away the mother. Vesa bonim tikach loch. You could take the children for yourself. So let's just stop right there. There is a difficult piece coming up over here in the ZOHAR. 1 second. Let me check something in the front. Well, you could come along with me. I just wanted to see. I just start plowing into these things and not really looking around as much as I should to see who wrote what. And that's what I'm looking for, but I'm not sure I'm going to find it. So it says this is what we're getting into, the ZOHAR. The ZOHAR, so he has something like that. Is a Likot Narchav, I guess a broad, the Makbilos, the Zohar, B'divrei Chazal, that corresponds to the Zohar from the words of the rabbis. But Talmud Babli of Yerushalmi and different things we find in different places in Midrashim, Medivrei Zohar HaKodesh, B'shar Makomos, HaShaykhan LeDivrei Zohar HaKodesh, so that it's really taking things out of the Yerushalmi, Midrashim, Medivrei Zohar HaKodesh, B'shar Makomos and other places that brings up more Zohar in places, other places. Now, I didn't find this easy to understand, so I'm going to start. Rebbe Shimon Omer, Kol Yisrael B'nei Malachim. 1 second, I got to get a drink. So he said, V'rei od, and the Gemara and Barachos. So we're getting here a sample of different ideas on this subject. V'zimna the carving karbonim. At the time when off-sacrifices were altered, I think he means in the base of Mikdash. Machasiv lo sika cha'eim alabonim. So there it says, don't take the mother with the children. Charav be Mikdash, the base of Mikdash is destroyed. The bought local karbonim, and there were no longer karbonim. Machasiv, what's written over there, shalach to shalach ha'sa'im. You have to send the mother away. That's the Shechina. He said it's a Tzipor. V'galach habanim, and the children go into galus. V'hainav es habanim tikach loch. So take the children to you. Now it's not clear what he means by that. So over here he says in the Rai Mehemna, Parshas Pinchas, it says Omer Rai Mehemna. The Rai Mehemna says this in Moshe Rabbeinu. Elun milun kamastimin. These are very hidden words. Inun. They are very difficult words. Leman de lo yada, from any person who doesn't know what he's talking about. V'galya leman de yada bahu, but it is revealed to people who, in other words, for if you don't know, I don't know what he means, but no, who knows what. What is he talking about? That is the send away of the mother and keeping the children. What does that mean? Or sending away like that. Vadai haku tzipura ihu shchinta. So we agree with that. Kan dilor her nest. Da be Mikdash. It's the base of Mikdash. The Yisrael Inul Afrochim, the Jewish people, are considered to be hatchlings. The Ima Yasval like when then she sits on them, or what's the right way to say it? This is reason what it said, V'ha'im rovetzes al Afrochim, that she hovers over and she sits down on top of her hatchlings, V'inun Mari Mishnah. So he says, who are the hatchlings? Now, where this is coming from and how you piece it together, I'm not sure. He says these are people who are masters of of the Mishnah. The parchim in the kudin de law, that they fly away bikudin de law with her. I'm not sure what this means. So they fly away bikudin de law from her mitzvahs. The Mishnah mitzvahs that he had, they fly away from the mitzvahs. Oh, beitzim, or also they're called beitzim, eggs. Elun mari mikra, they're people that are masters of Tanakh. But when we sinned and the base of Mikdash was destroyed, Machasiv, what is it written on like that? Shalalat to shalach ha'sa'im, send the mother away. This is what it means. And because of their sin, their mother was sent away. Now going back to this, it says here we're talking about the masters of the 6 orders of the Mishnah. What is he saying here? I'm in the wrong place now. That's the thing. I've got there's so much commentary. I got to keep the right one. Kasiv Bahu, it's written in guards of this. Ray Habanim. I read it wrong. For Es Habanim Tikach Loch. Take the children to you. So obvious question is, what does the to you mean? What is he talking about? The inun shis mesitra the shis banim the tachos imrei law. This is the 6 that come from the side of the 6 children that are underneath imrei law. Now, what does he mean by that? Because imrei law would be bina. So the inun b'shis tevin the kriya shema, and we see this in the 6 words of the kriya shema. Of b'shis sidri men, we see the number 6 over here too, in the 6 orders of the Mishnah. I'm not sure why we said this, but it's the same. If your kavana is the same, whether you do a lot or you do a little. And besides that, the kavana of his heart, the shemaim. Now that's a phrase. He took the phrase. V'kashrin lon b'kishrin the tefillin. Now you tie all of this up with the straps of the tefillin al reshev al deroah, on his head and on his arm. And how? I think in my is how do they take the children's head, but become tzipsupim, and the children are taken. Now this is really, really out there. With the 6 words, Tzipsupi is like chirps of the voices of the Kriya Shema. When we come together in a minyan, we say Kriya Shema. This is something important. So he's trying to get us into understanding what happens with the basa, the chash, lachashem, belachisha, betzelusa, the choshoy, the gabe, ima barta. And then after that, we say the silent prayer, betzelusa, with the silent prayer, the gabe, ima, barta, and it's in regards to Ima and her daughter. And Ima and her daughter represents the first hay and the second hay. V'nachsim legabe vav, and these two hays, now where they're coming from, but this is the idea, come down, and they come down to the letter vav, the kesher delay, when you tie the knot, di hu yud, which is a yud. V'sharye hey ilah al vav, and then we see that the hey ilah rests on the vav. Tefillin al reshe. It refers to tefillin, to the tefillin that are on the head. Hey zeira nachas the gabe yud. So he says, so reshe, hey zeira nachas the gabe yud. So the little hey goes down to the yud. Now, this in my mind, he's saying you have two hays to start with, and they're both above the vav. This is what it sounds like. The first hay is connected to the vav, so that's bina, is mashpia to zer anpen, who's a vav. But the other part, the other hay, he says hey zeira, that's the second hay. Nachas the gabe yud, it goes down towards the letter yud. What yud is he talking about? Dihu kasher dehe ilah al rosh vav. So this is the tie of the upper hay on the head of the vav. Vihu vav vav, and it itself is like a line, like a vav. Keshri mob hey diad keha. So it becomes a tie with her in the hay on the left hand. And begin da efrochim misitra de os vav, and because of this, the hatchlings come from the letter vav. Now, all of that was very mysterious. It needed a lot more explanation for me, but he brought in some ideas. Kollel vav sidre mishnah, that has within it all of the vav sidre mishnah. O beitzim, or this, it talks like this. Elun mari mikra, masters of Tanakh. Did Maralihu, that it's written in regards to them, Ben Chamesh Shon the Mikra, when his person is 5 years old. And once again, so what this is tied to, it's very difficult. Lalahu Ben Chamesh Shon the Mikra. V'do Hey, so this is the letter Hey. Binyan Bonim Misitra the Ben Yud K, so that the children come from the side of the children of Chochman Bina. Elin Mare Kabbalah, this is referring to people who love Kabbalah. Allahu Itmar, and because of these people it's written, Lo Sikach Ha'em Alabana, do not take the mother with the child. Very difficult, very, very difficult. But we'll continue on. This is Baruch Fleischman. It's the Tikkun Elevator Kollel here.